Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Figurized Standard Plastic Model Kit for Krillin from Dragon Ball Z. I don't have a ton of experience with Figurized model kits. The only one I've put together so far is the Omnimon, which I did review on maybe a week or two ago at this point. And I had bought that a while ago just because I like Omnimon and I saw it randomly on HLJ and the price was decent, so I just thought I'd give it a shot. And so when HLJ had a huge sale on all kinds of random stuff, and this was like 12 bucks, and I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. And then after I bought it, I forgot I had the Omnimon set, so I went back and built that while I was waiting for this to arrive. And I was really impressed with it, so I'm glad that worked out. But yeah, I mean, I bought one or two, actually I think I bought 3 Dragon Ball Z Figurized because they were all really cheap. I think this one was 12. I also bought a Trunks for like 14. And then, or maybe he was, yeah, I want to say like, and then I got a SSJ Vegito for I think 14. They were all less than 15 bucks a piece. So I just thought that was a great price. And I just thought this looked like fun. I mean, I love Krillin. He comes with these faces that I'm super psyched for. They look hilarious. So I'm going to open the box real quick just to give you guys an idea of what's inside. So you can already see some Krillin heads right on top. That's pretty magical. He's got a stand piece. He's got effect pieces. He's got some crazy stuff going on. I don't even know what's going on over there. Anyway, I think it's going to be fun. If these end up being really excellent, maybe I'll get a couple more. But, I don't know, they're neat. I don't know what kind of scale they're going to be. I think they're going to be probably closer to like 6-inch. So they might scale decently with, like, Dragon Ball Stars figures. So we'll have to see how that goes. Once it's built, I'll bring a couple in. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to build this, and then we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here is Krillin fully assembled, and he is rocking my absolute favorite facial expression that this figure comes with. It's meant to replicate the scene in the Android saga where 18 kind of kisses him and he like freaks out, so it's just an absolutely fantastic facial expression. As you can see, he is holding the controller that was supposed to turn off the androids. I'm going to go ahead and take this out of his hand, if I can. There we go. You can see that it has like a little rectangular peg, and then there's a peg slot there on the inside of the palm. There's actually one on the inside of both palms, but he does have multiple different hand possibilities, so we'll move this around. The arms are a little stiff. They're not terrible or anything, but it's a little weird. So first what I want to do is just kind of show you the basic articulation for the figure before we get to the plethora of accessories that he does come with. Oh, did I bend that? I hope not. All right, we'll put that off to the side. Anyway, so here is the first facial expression, which is amazing. Head's on a ball joint, so you can move that all the way around. You can also see there's a little bit of movement at the base of the neck as well. So you got that. You have a ball joint in the shoulder. Now, the way these, like, sleeve cuffs work is a little weird, but you can actually pull these completely out. So you can see there the joint for the shoulder so that you can get a lot of movement, you know, in and out. It's kind of like a butterfly joint, but it's only connected at the front, so it just kind of comes forward. It doesn't really go back. And then these things can spin. And then, like I said, you have a ball joint there in the shoulder. Of course, you have a bicep swivel. You have an elbow joint that's probably a little bit more than 90 degrees. These hands have kind of, like, there's a ball joint at the wrist, but then there's also a hinge you can see there at the base of the palm. So that's kind of cool. Plus, he does come with interchangeable hands, which we'll take a look at in a minute. You can move the waist around, no problem. Now, I thought he had a little bit of an ab crunch, but because of the big belt, it's kind of lost. And unfortunately, this piece keeps falling out. It's just very simple, you know, just kind of clips on under there. And it can move once it's attached a little bit, but it just keeps falling out. I wish it had like a, you know, I don't really know how you'd fix it. I wish it had a better, like, you know, like have it come down and then once you push it in, it stays in there, but it's just not that great, unfortunately. I mean, it'll stay, but then if you try to move it at all, it wants to fall out. In the hip, you have a decent amount of movement. I'm going to take this off just so you can see the hip movement better. So you can see you got a lot of good movement there. Spin that all the way around. You also have like a thigh swivel there. You have really cool elbow, geez, I can't stop saying elbow, knee articulation. And how this works is this is a piece here that this is then connected to, so that when he moves around, you know, you can kind of see the knee come out. Instead of having like a weird gap or anything, it's kind of one continuous piece. Now, it doesn't line up 100%, but it's still a lot better than it could be. There's really no swivel at the foot. This just kind of like pops off and then pops back on. And you can see that it's kind of form-fitted to the folds of the pants. So the boot kind of naturally lines up like that. But you do have a ball joint here in the ankle, so you can spin that. You can go side to side, front to back. So there's a nice little bit of movement there in the ankle. But yeah, overall, he's pretty excellent. On the back, you have a sticker. And then you have a sticker on the front as well for the Turtle School emblem. And I just kind of like really like pushed it on and then folded it into the folds of the plastic. I think it works pretty well. I think it looks good. Otherwise, the only other stickers are... There's a little sticker here on the front of the controller. And then the inside of his mouth is a sticker. You can kind of see that it's like a orangish color, reddish color in there. That's it. And one of the other faces has an open mouth as well. But that's it for stickers. It really is. I'm going to go ahead and pop out these hands so we can check out some other cool hand poses. You have some kind of open palms like this that I'm going to pop on temporarily. And then how the head works is you just kind of come here behind the ears. You can kind of see the seam going down the middle of his head. And it's a little difficult to get off, but once you do, it's nice. There we go. So the whole head just pops off. And this is kind of cool because what this is, it's white of the eyes pegged into a black piece that makes up the eyebrows and the kind of trim and the pupils. And then it all just pegs into a hole in the face. And it looks great. And then you have a smaller white piece with a sticker inside for the mouth. So you do have kind of a normal Krillin face, which is all well and good. But this is my favorite Krillin face. It's kind of shouting Krillin. And you can see that the dots are a separate piece that sticks out and looks really weird. But they fill in the dots on his forehead. So we go ahead, swap that out. That pegs right on there. And there you go. He is all set to go. So I'm going to attempt to put this back on. There we go. So I'm going to move this stuff to the side and show off this first effect piece. Now, all of this comes in the box. The stand, the effect piece, all of that, which is really cool. You can buy additional effect pieces, or not effect pieces, additional stands. I mean, you can get other effect pieces with other figures. But anyways, I'm going to put his hands like this, and then I'm just going to kind of line it up. And then it looks like he's firing the blast, which I think is really cool. We'll put that off to the side. And this does have some movement to it. So this blast piece is a couple of pieces. Like this is a piece. This in the middle, the beam is two pieces that sandwich together. Then that's another piece. So this is 4 pieces all together. But you have this little stand. This can move. So, I mean, technically, if you wanted to use this for the figure, you could. He does come with this clip. I believe this will work on this as well. Yeah, this will work. And then this would clip kind of around his waist like that. Pretty simple. And then you could have him floating in the air if you wanted to do some kind of, flying pose or something like that, or have him in the air. The only problem is you don't have, unless you had 2, you could do something like that. But you can, he does have that pretty easy clip. Man, that stupid thing around his waist really keeps falling off a lot. I feel like it didn't. I don't know, it's like a recent development. I wonder if this is getting stretched out. Maybe I can try to push that back in. You can see it's just a simple hook And then this just kind of clips on there. I mean, it'll stay. It's not a huge problem. Anyway, we'll get there. So I'm going to put all this stuff off to the side. Now the other set of hands that we haven't seen yet. I do wish, and this is one thing that I wish the model had that it does not. I'm going to take these hands off. And I'm going to use these hands. And again, these have the bend at the base of the palm. And I think we should be able to get these hands up here. Bah. I feel like this has got to be possible, right? So come up. See, that's the only problem is these are a little weird. There we go. So anyway, you can probably see what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do solar flare. I wish that was one of the heads that he came with. I wish he had like a shouting eyes closed face so he could do solar flare, because I feel like Krillin used that decently enough times throughout the series that it's something he should be kind of known for. So I just think that's cool. But the other thing you can do, just the shoulders are just a little stiff. Maybe over time they'll get a little bit looser as I move them around more. But you can put this hand straight up, bend this at the palm again, and then bring in this giant clip piece, which will clip around his wrist. And I'm going to give him, he's got normal fists as well. I'm going to give him a normal fist, maybe bend the legs a little bit. Something like that. And then we got some Destructo Disc, which is pretty awesome. It doesn't really spin because of it's a fairly tight peg. I mean, you can rotate it, but it's not like a spin or have it go around type of thing. But I still think that's really cool. Bring this down a bit so you can kind of see it. You want to be careful with the weight distribution, but there you go. Destructo Disc. I think that's really cool. And then if you wanted to fire it off and pretend like it's going towards another character, you could certainly do so. But pretty awesome effect pieces, I have to say. I'm going to go ahead and give him the other fist here. Do like kind of a traditional powering up pose. There you go. He looks pretty good. So I actually thought this was a lot of fun. It was a really fun build. It's not super intricate or difficult. It's like just the right amount of intricate, I would say. The instruction booklet's very easy to follow. Nice big pictures. You are going to want a tweezer for stickers and probably some clippers to cut them off the sprue. But other than that, I definitely think this was a lot of fun. I love the accessories that he comes with. The Destructo Disc is fantastic. The little effect piece over here I think is pretty cool. I kind of wish it was blue, so Krillin was doing a Kamehameha. But other than that, yeah, I don't really have any complaints. The other thing I know some people might bring up, at least it's something that I thought about, a lot of times in the anime he doesn't actually have whites of his eyes. His eye whites are kind of just normal skin color for him. But they decided to definitely go with, whites of his eyes for this figure. And I think it's fine. I honestly don't mind it. Some people might prefer the other way, and maybe that's a deal breaker for you. I don't know. But I don't think it's a problem. I think it works. The facial expressions are good. Like I said, I would have loved to have a closed eye, screaming face for Solar Flare. I think that would have been really fun, especially for Krillin. But otherwise, the hands that he comes with, the stand, the effect piece, the blast, as well as the Destructo Disc all work really well. And I mean, for me to get this on sale for $12, I can't really complain in the slightest. I mean, I can make a wish list of other things I wish it came with, but I'm in no way dissatisfied with this kit. Like I said, definitely a fun build. If you're into model kits, I definitely recommend looking at these because they're fun to put together, and then you have a little action figure when you're done. So I would guess he's probably about 4.5 inches tall. If I had to guess, I don't think he's probably a full 5. I mean, he's Krillin, so he's probably made to be in scale with the other characters, so he'd be a little shorter. So he's probably like 4.5 inches tall, if I had to guess. He's definitely, I would say he's a little bit taller than like a Soto figure. So 4.5, 5 inches in that range. The normal characters are probably 6 inches tall, if I had to guess. So if you're trying to figure out what scale to put these with, I feel like they'd probably scale decently with Dragon Stars, and I kind of wish I had one handy to show you that. I apologize, I don't. But I would imagine that they probably scale pretty well with the Dragon Star figures. So maybe next time I build one of these, I'll have to make a point to track one of those down. I have them around the house somewhere. But yeah, I definitely like it, and I definitely recommend it, especially if you're into Dragon Ball Z and model kits. Then it's a slam dunk. So that's going to do it for this one. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.